When it comes to delivering news and updates on all things Doom and Quake, I'd say I'm pretty thorough. A little too thorough, if we're being entirely honest. I'm pretty dedicated to combing through as many sources as possible to learn as much information as I can about whatever it is I plan on making a video about, and today is certainly no different. I know we're all itching to get our Doom or Quake fix, specifically when it comes to the next game that they've been working on, so I decided to dig through more than 27 new job listings for id Software to see if I could get any more details on what we're seeing next. Why the hell would I do that? Because I was bored and curious. Some may call that a waste of time, but I call it an opportunity. And it actually turned out to be somewhat worth it, as I was able to get some more details that were previously only theorized about. This array of details includes the general idea for the next game, what we're aiming for in terms of combat, and the fact that this may actually be NextGen Exclusive, which may be a little scary for some. We'll be getting into all of that and more in today's video, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You'll get to stay up to date on stuff like this, and I'll get your support, so it's a win-win for both of us. The first thing I want to bring up is the general idea for the project, what type of game it is, what the main focus will be, that kind of stuff. The general idea that I get from this specific batch of listings is that they want to make a primarily single-player focused game that puts you in the shoes of a lone hero with a vast arsenal of powerful weapons, that visits incredible locations and fights hordes of unique creatures. Although all of that was kinda given, it is nice to have solid confirmation that this won't be another Quake Champion situation where it's completely multiplayer focused. I did see some people speculating that this could be for another large-scale DLC for Eternal, but the fact that this is a new, unannounced game is brought up multiple times, so there is no doubt that this is its own thing. Multiple listings also brought up that this is an id Software owned property, which completely dismisses any theories that they could be working on a Hexen or Heretic reboot. As cool as that would be, I figure they'll stick to their own stuff before trying to do someone else's. I'm also going to go ahead and say that the Creatures part of the listings eliminates an id Software reboot of the Wolfenstein series, considering how it had a roster made of almost entirely human enemies. There's also the fact that Machine Games still isn't done with their version of Wolfenstein, so yeah. The main focus of a lot of these job descriptions was innovation and improvement on previous combat and AI systems featured in recent id Software titles. It's of course really good to know that they plan on further improving these systems they created in Eternal, instead of going right back to a simple run and gun type of gameplay. I'm pretty interested to see where they take this. You probably could have assumed, like, all of that, though, so let's get to the whole NextGen Exclusive stuff, which is the real meat of this video. A big portion of the listings mention NextGen in some way, shape, or form, with one in particular stating that id Software is looking for a senior graphics programmer to join our team and work on legendary id Software games for PC and next-generation console systems. At first, I kind of just assumed that they meant they needed this sort of expertise for next-gen ports, but the more I thought about it, the more I started to realize that this game probably won't be on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. A lot of these jobs will have applicants creating models, AI programming, and various other things specifically for next-gen. Now, I'm no game dev, but I don't think a model meant for next-gen would do very well on a day one Xbox One or PS4. And after taking the assumed release year into consideration, that kind of starts to make a lot more sense. By the way it's previously been talked about, this project was in the early stages of development around the release of the Ancient Gods Part 2, so at its best, I'd say it started in January of 2021. If that's true, my best estimate is that this game would probably need around 4 years minimum to be completed in a passable state, so I'd say we probably won't be seeing this title until the first half of 2025, at the earliest. By that time, PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles will presumably be a lot more widespread and owned by a lot more people, meaning that it would make total sense for it to be a next-gen exclusive. I know that I just said two things that no one wants to hear, but I honestly think it's the hard truth. Not only is this game still probably at least 3 years away, but it will honestly most likely be limited to next-gen consoles and higher-end PCs. Tell me what you think about that down in the comments below. Do you think that the wait will be more than worth it, or is that a little too long for you? Also, keep in mind that job listings get put up and taken down pretty frequently, so some of this information may not be available by the time you're watching this, but on the other side of that, there may be additional information that wasn't included in today's video. I actually created this script about 2 weeks before this was uploaded, and after checking things out, it seems like only a single listing was added. I'll be leaving a link to the ZeniMax Jobs website in the description so you can check it out for yourself. If you enjoyed this news and discussion video, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on Doom and Quake news. I also want to say that although the title does say Doom, it is not confirmed whether it's Doom or Quake. That's there as more of a generalization, so I don't have to type out a long title like id Software game instead of Doom game. I'm sure you understand though. Aside from all of that, I don't really have anything else to say for today's video, though, so thank you all for watching. Until next time.